Teachers of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing a student answered to? Tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Someone in a class once told everyone about how his grandparents were arrested for keeping a bunch of adopted children in cages. He said that he used to play with the kids when he was young, but he was too young to understand that the conditions they were in were not normal. They kept kids in cages and locked in rooms for years before they were discovered and arrested. Yup. Fun fact edit. I'm not a teacher. This person who told the story was in a class with me as a young adult. Was he telling the truth? Yes. We were able to look up his family name along with state and the news article popped right up. I teach ESL and every lesson we start the class by sharing something good that happened to us over the last week or so. Needless to say, kids share the most random things ever. I have many weird stories because of that. We enforce a rule that they need to share good things so they don't start one-upping each other over whose grandma had the worst death. Lol. One day, a student said, I was riding my bike over the weekend when I fell. I could see where it was going but didn't have enough time to enforce the rule when he just spat out. I fell over a wired fence and cut my neck. It just kept gushing blood. A lot of blood. I reminded him that we were only sharing good news when he said, it's good because I'm still alive. I had a good laugh and agreed, but the damage was done. Every kid after him wanted to share about the most horrific injury they had or witnessed. Once the boulder had started rolling, you can't stop it. I hate when this happens. Not a teacher, but in 3rd grade, we would do this weekly. How was your weekend? Sort of thing where we'd sit in a circle and share. This one girl casually goes, I found out that my biological father didn't want me, in a super nonchalant tone and everything. I still remember the awkward tension. Way back on the first day of middle school, when asked about their summer, a girl I knew said I got kidnapped and almost died. She had been in and out of foster care for the past 3 years. Her dad left her and her mom, which caused her mom to develop schizophrenia. Her mom was in and out of treatment facilities for the next few years, and this girl was placed with a really nice foster family. One day the bio mom just kidnaps the girl and holds her hostage in a squatter's house. This girl had a bad peanut allergy, but her mom still tried to feed her a peanut butter sandwich and she went into anaphylactic shock. I guess after this another squatter called the cops and they got there in time and everything was okay. Her mom got sent to jail and she was placed permanently with her foster family. I'm not sure if they adopted her. They moved away a year later. This was 15+ years ago and I really didn't keep in touch, but last I heard she was still doing okay. Well, one told me that he killed a man in cold blood. Shocked, I had to tell him, come on, tell the truth now. No, it's true. I killed a man. I was young and living on the streets. A nice guy took me in and gave me a place to stay. I got to eat 3 warm meals a day for the first time in a while. I slept in a warm bed and didn't have to worry about people stealing my shoes. It was nice, but then he expected something in return. He started touching me. Eventually, it escalated to I put up with it for a while. Every other night, it'd have to earn my keep. This was in Texas, so the guy had a lot of guns. He even taught me to use them. One day, I learned of a way out where I'd be able to go to school again. But there's no way my guardian would let me get away. So I waited for the right time. He was one of those dumbass tough guys who keeps a gun on the nightstand. One day, when my ass was sore and I couldn't take it anymore, I grabbed the gun and shot him after he pulled his pants down. I got out and got in contact with child services and they put me with a nice foster family and got me registered for school here. I was obviously dumbfounded. The whole class was dumbfounded. I asked him why no one had ever told me his story before. Because you should have used a serious tag. My dad clogged the toilet this morning and that's why I am feeling frustrated. 5-year-old child. I will say the question was how are you doing this morning, but I could barely keep from laughing out loud. I have IBS. My toddler once told visiting friends that daddy takes long poops. I mean, I was having a flare up and had some extended bathroom sessions. But, dang little dude, not cool. Had a fellow classmate who came out as gay. The white female teacher and a few students were audibly shocked and the student iterated, "You said it had to be about me." A guy in my class introduced himself by telling us how he decided he wanted to study philosophy because one day he was really high peeing in the street and he saw a couple of people working and he wondered what they were doing. So he realized his passion was wondering. He dropped out like 2 months later. In my psychology class, we were talking about the early signs of serial killers and the quietest girl who never spoke told the story of when she lived in Chicago. She had a friend around 5th grade who would always stomp on baby birds and once put his hamster in the microwave. Well, his parents were having difficulty keeping up with his antics, so they sent him to his grandmother's, who he promptly stabbed to death when she woke him up for school. So that was interesting.
Kid in my kindergarten class said, "My pee-pee fell off at Disneyland. I didn't ask any follow-up questions." I want to state that usually doesn't happen. Student told me that there is a chapter dedicated to him in a dental surgery textbook because of a very rare disorder that he had as a child. I may still have that essay. My brother had something like this. When he was somewhere around 9 or 10 years old, he had to have 12 teeth surgically removed. He just had too many growing too quickly. It was so crazy that the oral surgeon apparently negotiated a deal with my father. The surgeon will completely pay for my brother's surgery, in exchange for taking a couple extra x-rays and lots of photos, to be published in an academic journal of some sort. Reddit coming full circle, teacher of brother meets brother's sibling.